Good afternoon, my name is Dawson Shirley, and today I'm going to teach you how to hit a golf ball. There's a couple steps to hitting golf ball, but the first step is always you got to have the right proper grip. A lot of people, when they start out, they want to grip this club like a baseball bat, like 10-finger grip, and that is not okay, because when you take a swing, it creates a flipping motion of your wrist, and when you're going through impact, you're going to lose a lot of distance on your shot. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is how to hit, or how to grip the golf club properly. So what you want to do is you want to place it in your fingers, just and close your hand over the grip or over the club, and then take your other hand and either interlock your index finger and your pinky finger, or you can overlap it, whichever one feels more comfortable. Preferably, I like to do the interlock. It just makes my motion feel like more than, or as one hand instead of two different ones, so I don't get that flipping of the wrist. But the second thing is address. And first of all, you got to know what club is in your hand. This right here is a 54-degree wedge. So typically, when you have a shorter club like a wedge, and you're going to hit it short distance, you need to place the ball farther back in your stance, because when you have a shorter club, the club is going to come through more square at a shorter time. So the farther back it is, you'll hit it straighter. The second thing is you got to be relaxed when you're addressing the golf ball. You have to have the proper grip, bend your knees a little bit, relax, just get comfortable, because if you're too stiff, you're not going to have a good swing, good tempo, and everything's just going to be a bad thing. The second part is when you're taking your backswing like this, you're going to address the ball, and you got to take it straight back with the club facing vertically in the air. If it's closed, you're going to hook it, and if it's open, you're going to have a tendency to slice it. And if you take it inside, it will have a tendency to come over the top, which means you're casting it over your shoulder, and then you're going to hit a slice because your club path is not square to the ball. The second thing about your backswing is you got to make sure everything is in line. So if one thing's out of line, that can change the trajectory of your golf ball. So when you're taking it back, there's a couple drills you can do. So just get comfortable, act like you're about to hit the ball, and then just stop. Make sure your forearm is straight, make sure your other arm is bent and relaxed, and make sure the club head is pointing straight towards the sky. The second part of a full swing is you want to make sure when you get to the top, you want to be parallel. You want this club to be parallel with the ground. So that way, if it's over here, you're too far. If you're like this, you're not getting your full turn. And what I mean by turn is when you're swinging the golf club, you want to turn your body. You want to turn your shoulders so there's a straight line going from your shoulders to the ball. That means you got your full body turn, and it means that you are gonna come through at is pretty much as fast as you can. Not as fast as you can, but it will make you have a good turn, good speed through the golf ball, and optimize your distance. So the second thing is, at the top of the backswing, when you start your down motion, you never want to start your hands first, because that's going to create your body to fall behind, and that's going to have your shots go wayward. So what you want to do is, when you get to the top, pause, make sure your golf club is parallel to the ground, and when you come through, you want to start your hips in a rotating motion. Sliding, if you slide out like this, you're going to cause your club to have an open face, and it's going to create a slice. So what you do is you get here, you make sure you start rotating your hips, because at impact, you want your belt buckle to be facing towards your target. So when you come through, as you start your down motion, you see my arms are naturally coming through. And as they do that, they drop into this term that golfers use called the slot. And once it's in the slot, you know you're on path to hit a good golf shot. So you got to rotate your hands, or rotate your hips, make sure your hands are staying driven through the golf ball, and at impact, your club head will be square and it will go where you're aiming. Now, on the downswing, a lot of things can go wrong. If I go like this, meaning I'm sliding my hips out, then I'm going to hit it left or right, left for me, but right for righties because it's a slice. And then if I quit on my rotation, my hands will come through and I'll hook it. My hands will naturally just roll over and I'll hook the ball, and no one wants to do that. So as you create, make sure everything's good, make sure everything's square, rotate, and as you come through impact, this is another important point. As you come through impact, you want your arms and your wrist to stay low and do not flip it. And so when you come through, you got to stay low, come through, make sure your arm is straight, make sure your wrists aren't flipped, and that will create a good impact position, creating good shots, and even put some spin on the ball for you if you get on the green. So following up, as you come through impact, make sure at impact you don't look up at the ball until your back shoulder hits your chin. That creates the driving power and gets through the golf shot. So I hope these few tips helped you today, and I hope to see you on the course sometime soon.